Good morning, students. My name is Ms. Trejo, and welcome to the 2018 Student Training for TELPAS. This morning, we're going to be asking that you complete a few tasks. We're going to be downloading an app. We're going to be going over the tutorial for TELPAS. And at the end, we really just hope that you get used to the platform and that you use it so that you're ready for TELPAS testing in a couple of weeks. What is TELPAS? Most of you, if not all of you, have already taken several assessments throughout the years, and specifically the reading online test. But it is an assessment for students in public school in Texas who are learning the English language. Basically what that means is that English for all of you is not your first language, whether it be Spanish or Vietnamese that you speak at home. So you're bilingual, and so we want to make sure that we measure your English language here at school. So it also assesses English language learners annually. Every year you take a listening, speaking, reading, and writing type of assessment. Now in the past, let me talk a little bit about what's different this year. In the past, you've only really taken a reading online assessment. This year, that's changed. You will also be taking a listening and speaking multiple choice assessment. You guys will be assigned a testing date and will be asked to walk into the classroom. We will hand you a mic and headphones with a mic, and just like I'm doing right now and just like you hear me, you will also be doing that as well. Now, I don't want you to get nervous about that. This is why we're doing this today. We want you to practice and feel comfortable speaking on different topics, and we're going to show you how to download the app so that you can practice, so that when that day comes, you are ready to rock and roll. So the goals for today, like I said, you're going to download the TestNav app so that you can practice. You will go through the testing tutorial today, and we also want you to make sure you test your earbuds to make sure that they're working on your computer. Right now, before you even begin downloading, I'm going to actually do a demonstration first. So I want you to follow along on using your student TELPAS training handout. It's going to look like the one you see right here. So make sure again that you have that handy, and as I go through the demonstration, I want you to go through it step by step with me. After you have reviewed that, after you've seen this demonstration, I will let you go, and you will go on your own to download the app and then complete the online tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started with the demonstration. Okay, students, let's go ahead and get started with the demonstration of downloading TestNav. Keep in mind this is a demonstration, so watch me do it first, and I'm going to show you where to go for the practices or the practice tests, and then you will be able to do this on your own. So go ahead and take out that sheet if you don't have it already, and we're going to go step by step so that you guys can do this on your own in just a few minutes. The first thing it tells you is to go to Southmore's website. So if you're already looking at this video, I know that you're there. Then it says after you've watched this video, you're going to scroll down and find the TELPAS. So if you're here at Southmore's page, you're going to scroll all the way down and you're going to find where it says TELPAS Online Testing. You can go ahead and select that. And what that does is it opens up the Download TestNav page, the website. So you're going to select windows.msi. When you do that, you're going to see it start to download here on the side, and it's going to say just like that, TestNav /1.65 MSI. Now, please don't select this 2-3 times, because if you select it that many times, it starts to download that many times. So and it slows down the whole process. So just select it once. A couple of things. It'll take a few minutes to download. If it takes longer than 12 minutes, let your teacher know. Go ahead and get a pass from your teacher, and you're going to go see Mr. Gonzalez in the BTS. He knows exactly what to do. If you see that it says network failure or failure to download due to network, just right click on it and select resume. Okay, sometimes the Wi-Fi acts a little funny, so that's all you'd have to do to fix the problem. Okay, all right, so once you've selected it, you can tell it's downloaded completely because there is no more signs that it's downloading. It doesn't say minutes or anything like that, as it'll look just like this. So once it's downloaded, you'll select it to open it. And now you're going to install the program. It's going to ask you whether you want the app to be downloaded, and you're going to select yes. Okay, and so nothing's happening. Well, why? Nothing's happening because it's already been downloaded. If you minimize this, this is called your desktop, and you're going to see the app right here. And this is exactly what the app looks like. It says Pearson Test Nav. Go ahead and double click it. Okay, this is what you'll see. Some of you you'll see a different screen. Some of you, it's going to ask you what state. So not all of you will see that, but some of you will see the screen that says which state. Of course, you're going to select Texas. So you'll double click on Texas, and then it'll take you to this screen, the login screen. Now, there is no password. There's no username right now. All you're going to be doing is looking at the practice test. Okay. Now, there's 3 things I want you to look at. The first thing I want you to look at is the practice for listening and speaking. So this is going to require you, because you don't have the mics yet, the headset mics, you're going to actually take out your earbuds. So you're going to take out your earbuds and you're just going to use the mic on your computer. So we'll go ahead and start this so that you can see what it looks like. And this is, again, just practice, just to get you used to it. Notice that it's going to have a total of 2 questions, the listening and speaking part. So we're going to go ahead and start. You can go ahead and enable test your mic. So go ahead and select it, and you can just speak in your normal voice if you see the green bars moving. Now remember, you had to have taken out your earbuds. You'll hit yes, and then you'll continue. So here are 2 sample questions. This is an example of what you're going to see on your speaking and listening assessment for TELPAS. You'll select start, and then these are your toolbars, and we'll go over all that in the tutorials in just a second. You'll hit next. Now, this is interesting. So this is an example of a listening question for the listening part of the assessment. So you would listen to the audio. So it's actually telling you what to do, and in case you didn't hear that, it says click on the ball. So you would go and you would select the ball. It's very simple. It starts very simple, and then it'll slowly increase, okay, to get a little more difficult. So that's an example of what to expect for listening, the listening part of the test. Let's go on to the speaking part. Okay, so you'd read the directions below. It says describe what the person is doing. So the part that you have to complete is to describe what the person is doing. Let's go ahead and play the video to see, well, what is the person doing?
This person is making something for lunch. Watch what she does.
Okay, so what is your job? Your job is to think about how, and you'll have scratch paper on the test, to write what is it that the person was doing. Very simple, right? So I would say something, I would write down as I'm thinking about what the person was doing. I would say the person is making a hamburger for lunch. But you want to be a little more specific to kind of show that you know a lot of English and your vocabulary is very strong. So as much as you can tell us, the better. You only have 90 seconds. So you don't want to make it too long, but you don't want to make it too short either. So I would say the person is making a hamburger for lunch, and he is layering it with lettuce, beef, cheese, tomato, bell pepper, and a bun. And then that's it. So then how would I do that? I've written that down. So I'm going to now go to the record button. I'm going to record myself saying it starting now. The person is making a hamburger for lunch. He has also included lettuce, beef, cheese, tomato, bell pepper, and topped it off with a bun. And I'm done. And I would select stop. And I do have one more attempt. So let's say I messed up. I'm like, okay, I need to practice one more time. So I practice first. When you are ready, then you hit the record button again. If you don't like that first attempt, you can delete it and then re-record. But keep in mind, you only have 90 seconds for each recording and you only get 2 tries, okay? That should not make you nervous. Don't let it make you nervous. I would definitely write down what you're going to say first, just like I did. I just wrote down what I was going to say and then reread it during your recording. Read it, during the recording as you're recording it. So that is all I have for you for listening and speaking. I want you guys to practice, and so that way you can do really well on the test. Okay, so I would hit next, and then as you can see, you would raise your hand so that the teacher would assist you. Again, this is just a demonstration of what it would look like on the test day. And then you would submit your final answers. It'll ask you again, do you want to submit your final answers? And then you would select yes. So just to kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like the day you take the listening and speaking test. Now, the last thing I want you guys to do, and in case you run out of time, that's okay. You guys can do this at home if to practice the tools. You have an option to take the full TELPAS tutorial, and that's kind of the same thing. You would just start. And then if you scroll down to look at what the reading test would look like, you can go to grades 6 through 7 for the release test, and then you would just start. And this kind of gives you an idea of what the test questions will look like. Okay, you don't have to do all 60, but I do want you to get familiar with the tools and all the things that you can do. All right. Oh, it's even telling me to use the arrow above. There you go. So this would be an example of the reading questions. Okay, and again, they start off very easy and then eventually get a little more difficult. Guys, that is all the time I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for paying attention. At this time, go ahead and look at your handout and please begin to download TestNav. And if you have any questions, again, you can see Mr. Gonzalez in the BTS if you have any technical questions. But if you have any questions regarding the test, you can come see me, Ms. Trejo, in room 303. We are very excited. I know you guys can do it. Can't wait for the testing day. And I know you guys are going to rock it. Talk to you guys soon.